Zombie apocalypse.
Good day, MEI students who are currently taking Electrical and Electronics Technology for the MEIE TLE 201 or 210, course. This is Dr. Kenji Merenciano, your course facilitator, and this time I'm going to present and discuss your course requirement. So, class, when we say course requirement, we're pertaining to your project, and um, and today, we will discuss what type of project you're going to submit or comply. What are the contents and and how you're going to submit or work on your project. So without further ado, I will now show you your course requirement. Okay, so your course requirement for electrical and electronics technology course is you're going to make or build uh, an output. As I've said, this course is a research based or output oriented. Okay. So you're going to make an automatic alcohol dispenser. Okay. So this is my project. So how are you going to build this project? First, this project is you will be working um, in groups. Okay, so you will be working as a team. It's not an individual, but it's a group, a collaborative, a team. You'll be working in teams and coming up with an automatic alcohol dispenser. Okay. So meaning to say, your course requirement uh, are these two things. Are of two things. First, you're going to build. Are you going to design, construct, and build an automatic alcohol dispenser? The next one, or the second part, is you need to come up with a technical report. So this is an example. Okay. So this material that I'll be showing is an example of technical report wherein it showcase the details uh, of the project from conceptualization, from the research or information that you gathered, as well as the materials that are needed, including the operations, and then the step-by-step process on how you were able to build the project. And that also includes the design, the materials that you use, the assessment of the materials, the step by step, the process you encounter, experience while working on the project, including your findings, conclusions, and recommendations. Reason why I'm asking you to do this in preparation for your research, because this technical report is research based. You have to gather the necessary information or details about the dispenser, about the operations on how it can control the flow of alcohol, and how what are the sensors or components needed in order for the project to work. Okay, so as again, for emphasis, I have two requirements. First is you're going to design and build an automatic alcohol dispenser. And the next one is like this. You're going to come up with a technical report. Okay? So what? So for more details, you can visit our classroom. I provided you the materials that you need for your dispenser. I also provided you videos or tutorials on the step by step or the process on how to build the dispenser, or even the materials that you need for your technical report. But class, take note of this. I don't want to copy everything, or it's very unethical if we're going to duplicate the contents, even the pictures, the designs, or the layout, or the technical report. It would be better. I want to see your creativity, your own version about the technical report that you will be submitting for this course. Okay, refrain from this. Do not copy the content of this technical report. You have to do things on your own also. Okay, so let us dig deeper and try to see the contents of this technical report. So the first one, or the first thing you're going to do, is to decide or form a group composed of 5 or 6 members. I repeat, form a group. Uh, by all means, you can talk, communicate using the technology through Messenger, to their contact details. Who will decide and who will be the groups, who will be the members of the group. So let us see, and I'll show you the composition of members and what are the key roles and responsibilities of one another. Okay, so let's go back. So each member should have a team leader. Okay? When we say team leader, he or she spearheads the project. He or she will take the lead, will be responsible, will oversee the assignments, will give assignments, and and monitor the development of the project. I repeat, the members of the group should have a leader. Somebody will take the lead. Somebody will sole responsible for each members of the team, assigning a task, and will monitor or spearhead the project. The next one is logistics. Logistics is the one who is assigned um, to for the assessment of the materials. He or she is in charge on canvassing. Um, he or she will visit different electronic stores or supply, and try to assess and try to and he or she will gather all the materials needed for the project, and will provide a bill of materials. How much will each item or each part cost, even the costing, and how to gather the materials. If based on experience, some of the materials are not available in our area or community. So another alternative is to buy the or purchase the items or materials from online shopping stores. Okay, so that's the role of the logistics as part of the team for this automatic alcohol dispenser project. The next member of the team is the public is for somebody's in charge for the publication of the material. The role of this member is to build or build this the stand of the dispenser, as well as the enclosure of the project. If he or she due to limited times and circumstances that we have, the publication, he or she can fabricate or ask or look for supplies or shops that can fabricate the stand. Kasi the stand is also part of the dispenser. The stand as well as the enclosure for the device. You can look for aluminum and glass supply or a shop that can fabricate the material. So that's the role of a member who's in charge for fabrication. Okay. And he or she monitors the development of the stand and the enclosure for the project. Another interesting member for the group for this group is the designer. Someone is in charge for the design and layout of the dispenser. Okay. The role of the designer is he or she will create a working drawing. When we say working drawings, uh, it should compose of a schematic diagram or layout. Later on, as we go along with this course, I will teach you the different diagrams or drawings intended for electricity and electronics. Okay. But for advanced info, you can, as I've said, the materials, the Google Classroom are self-directed learning materials. Wherein, well, in fact, you can study, do advanced reading about the topics covered for the TLE 210 course. Wherein you will encounter the different components, the different diagrams or layout, for you to come up with your own no your own you will have a technical know-how on how to create or to design by means of diagrams or layout. So when I say working drawings, I need a schematic diagram. Schematic diagram is a standard representation of the components represented in either an abstract or graphic symbol. And we have different components. Here in electricity and electronics, you should be oriented and familiarized because we have a numerous number of components used for this discipline. You need to first oriented or be familiar with the components in order for you to make a schematic diagram. Aside from the schematic, you're going to come up with a PCB layout um, or a component layout of the project. Even the perspective or the views of the project. Later on, I will show you the example drawings so that you are guided. But I said, do not copy what's on the what based on the material that I provided. You're going to make your own layout or design. But at least for reference purposes, you are I provide you this material so that you are guided. But do not copy. Okay? So aside from the designer who's in charge for the dispenser design and layout, we also have the hardware installation and wiring connection. This person is the one who will connect or in charge with the circuitry. How the wires and how the components um, um, on how you're going to connect the components for the hardware or for the electronics hardware of the project. Through the design of a member, you can use that as reference for you to connect the components in a circuit intended for the project. And lastly, we have the someone is in charge for the documentation. Uh, he or she will come up with the technical report. Okay, the technical report, he or she is assigned to document everything from from the concept of the project. He or she will research about the operations, the components, how it works, the dispenser, everything. So this is your training ground in preparation for your research. To give you an idea on what topics or what will be your content for this for your report. Okay. And aside from that, you will conduct uh, a survey. We're going to document the response of the end users because later on, you're going to use that in your school. Okay. Or actually, class, I'll be giving you options. You can conduct a survey to your school, wherein your respondents will be one faculty, one student, one non-teaching, and it could be the head of your school. It could be your principal, your deans. The second option, class, is I'm planning to donate if you will allow this to the BGMP because the electronics and electrical department will be having an extension, an outreach activity when we will be conduct extension by means of technology transfer, technology dissemination about our course. Wherein our trainees or beneficiary of this extension are the persons deprived of liberty, so that they can this can through this they can have additional knowledge and what learnings or skills they can be that they can acquire can be a form of a livelihood or entrepreneurship, or once they are free, they can apply for a work that is connected to electricity and electronics. Okay, so aside from coming up with the technical report, you can provide us you have to submit to us a video or what do you call this a video about their response or feedback about your project. If it can really help, it can be used to mitigate the COVID viruses. So that's the role of a member who is in charge for the technical report and research and documentation. And they will provide what do you call this sort of a feedback or what do you call this their experience of using the parang sort of a promotional video that this device can help the school community in controlling the spread of virus. Okay, so these are the composition of the members for this project. Okay, as I've said, first you have to establish or form a group uh, which composed of 5 or 6 members, and each member has a leader, and the leader will assign uh, based on the examples given their assignments or tasks. Here, this is sort as I've said, this course is holistic or well-rounded. You will not just only learn how to build or understand the concept of sensors, the role of each components, or how does an alcohol dispenser works, but you will be developing the 21st century skills as what you've learned way back in during your college days about the skills to be that is needed wherein the four C's, cooperation or collaboration, critical thinking, something like that. Okay, so you will be working in groups, you will be working as a team, and um, um, mind you, class, at first you will find it hard to work as a group because of the hindrances, like let's say communication and how to meet one another in coming up with this dispenser. But take it as a challenge. Okay, I know it's really challenging now that we're still in pandemic, but most of my students were able to come up or this project is what do you call this success they were successful in coming up with this project. So now that we already know the composition of each members, so I present the next part of this technical report. So you have to provide us the rationale or the introduction. Give us a brief background about it could be COVID pandemic, and then cite add literatures. You can add literatures about the clinical studies or shows that one way to control this the spread of COVID is through alcohol or sanitation by means of using an alcohol. And also you can research about how many persons or were affected or died because of this pandemic, and how can we help control this COVID. So you can do. It's up to you on how you're going to create your or going to write or or place here in our uh, technical report. Okay. So I said the first part is the introduction. Tell us, based from what you've researched about the pandemic, the challenges that we are experiencing because of the pandemic, of COVID. Okay. So class, aside from uh, the pandemic that we experience, you can also you can cite related literature connected to this technical report, and uh, and please include the references or the materials that you gathered, or books or ebooks or PDF uh, that you use for this study. Okay, and tell us also the operation. You can also cite the operation on how the device works or operate. Okay, how does an alcohol dispenser produce and controls the release of a certain amount of alcohol intended for our hands, diba? And 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 ways on how to control the what do you call this, the flow of the alcohol once it's sensed by our hands. Okay, so you have to research the uh, because the common component that you're using is the infrared. As I've said, the main component for this project is the infrared obstacle sensor. So if you read my material, if you visited our Google Classroom, you can see the picture of the infrared obstacle sensor that is responsible for the release of the alcohol, including its features and specifications. The 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 supply, the input, the ground. So the details are, as I've said, if you want to know the details of the component, please resort to the data sheet or the information sheet of the components, which is also available in our internet. It's in PDF form, wherein you can, which provides the details or information about the component, including its features and specifications. And try to discuss as the operation on how the device or the dispenser works. Okay. And you can also discuss the brief description of the project. Okay. So here again, um, um, tell us the operation of the device by citing the um, okay, citing the description. Okay, a brief description of the project, and how does it works by means of infrared obstacle detection and its applications. Okay, so you can discuss as the details. So it's up to you on how you're going to present to us the details about the uh, automatic alcohol dispenser through its introduction. Okay. Now we're going to proceed to the parts list. Okay. So tell us what are the components or the one is in charge for this is the logistics. Okay. The logistics will provide us the bill of materials, including the expenses. Okay. Well, the description of what are the materials that you use for this project, the components, the pump, the resistors, the lead, okay, the quantity or amount that you use and its price. If you use recyclable materials or those things that are available or that are available and you didn't buy those materials, then there's no need for you to provide the price. Okay, just leave it blank. Okay, but if you bought the items or the component or the materials, then please tell us the details and the exact amount or the total cost for this project. You will also include the tools and equipment that you use for this project. Okay, gathering iron, the pump, the tool, the wire cutter, everything that you use for you to build or construct the project. So this is now the design that I need to that I first thing that I will look to your technical report. So this is what we call the schematic diagram. If you notice, it's like a lines. It composed of lines and sort of a symbol, uh, which is kindly odd or strange to you. But as an electrical and electronic students, you should be familiar with these symbols. Okay, these symbols are components. Okay, components in order to control the flow of electrons. Because from the definition of electricity and electronics, it's in terms of similarities. This pertains to the flow of electrons. How electrons has been converted or 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 flow the flow from a certain component. Okay, let's say for example, this is a symbol of resistor. These are PNP, a transistor. This is an active component. The lead, it's a semiconductor. The diode, okay. LED stands for light emitting diode. Aside from the symbol, please include also the names for the parts. Okay. So my requirement is to for you to for the one who's in charge for this class is the designer. So the role of the for of someone who's in charge for technical report, he will collate or he will collect the bill of materials from the logistics. The next one is the design or the layout from the designer. So the designer will provide us the schematic diagram. Second is the circuit diagram, which shows the connection. This is what I'm repairing a while ago. This is the infrared module or infrared sensor module or obstacle sensor. Okay. And it which clearly depicts or shows to us the connection. Okay. Um, the one who's in charge for the assembly or for the circuit and is the one in charge for hardware and circuit connection. Okay. She will be in charge for the electronics part, wherein how he or she will connect the module to the pump and the switching and the indicator. Okay. So so that he is guided. Okay. He or she is guided. And aside from that, you will provide the designer will also provide us the orthographic drawing, which provide the principal views, including the perspective, so that if you're going to design or fabricate your stand as well as the enclosure, at least the one who's will public the publicator has an idea in terms of the dimensions, the shapes, the size of your project, and so that it will be easy on his or her part to build the stand as well as the what do you call this, the enclosure. I've said the publicator will be in charge for the enclosure and the stand of the dispenser for alcohol. So we need to present it if due to time constraints, you can look for shops or stores or supply or aluminum or glass supply who can build this project for you. But you have to present it in the form of a drawing, an orthographic or a detailed drawing of your dispenser. Okay? So now that we're done with the design or drawing, uh, okay, even the design of the stand, uh, with regards to the stand or the dispenser, you can adapt this one. Okay? You can adapt this the materials, it even the size, the height of the stand as well as the size of the enclosure for your alcohol dispenser. Okay. The next thing, yeah, this is the actual design of the dispenser. But my observation for this project is the wires. We have a short wire for the outlet, uh, for the um, yeah, for the outlet or for the socket. I mean, for the socket or adapter, because this device works of 5 volts only. So it does not consume a lot of energy. It's a DC a DC 5 volts DC 1 ampere. Uh, uh, Requires power for this project or for this dispenser to work. So please consider add another meter or length of wire for this project. Okay, this is the actual picture of the dispenser. So the next part for the technical report is you're going to present and or show to us the step by step from the big how assess all the materials, from the assessment of the materials. What did you do first? Did you consider first the electronics, the hardware part, or you started working with the enclosure? So tell us the details on how you were able to or the procedures on how you were able to build the project. Based on this sample, the group gather all the components first for the dispenser. Second, they consider first the container for the alcohol as well as the wires to be connected for directed towards the PCB the for the pump, and then not the PCB, the pump, and then it's a submersible pump. Okay, you can buy this to, uh, uh, pet stores uh, for aquarium for purposes. Okay, and even the nozzle, and then the one thing that you will encounter experience is the release of the alcohol. It needs to have a nozzle so you can control the flow of alcohol. Okay, not to yeah, to control the or you can use the top cover of a pen, of a ball pen, as your nozzle for the alcohol dispenser. You need to think carefully to this based on the design on how about the container of your alcohol, the orientation, and how you're going to place that to your enclosure, and even the tubes. And then it. I think I suggest you're going to put a nozzle for your dispenser, and this is the hardware connection and how you're going to connect Please consider the colors and of the wirings. And don't worry, class. At first, you're hesitant uh, to work on this project because I know this is not your field. But let me remind you, class, you are taking electrical and electronics technology. You will not appreciate or understand this course if you didn't come up with this project. And sometimes we need to get out of our comfort zones. Though most of you are are put technology or TLE teachers were assigned in drawing or home economics. But as I've said, you need to explore this TLE 210 course. Okay. And you will learn and appreciate how to install, how to make a circuit, how to connect the components. Okay. And yeah, how and the testing. The next part is the testing of the container and with the components attached or with the connections on it. And the next part is you're going to come up with the uh, model, uh, case model, so that you are guided on how you're going to build the enclosure for the project. Okay? And you can also canvas so the materials. What they did also is they canvas the materials that will be used in fabricating the case. Okay. And yeah, and then and these are the things that they consider or the procedures on how they come up with the dispenser and how to build the stand and okay, and yeah, and the painting for the stand and then the output of it. So this is the casing of the dispenser. Okay. You can fabricate this to a supply or to aluminum glass and supply or stores that welcomes or work for the assembly of enclosures. And another thing that I would like to that I want to to what do you call this to I want to check also the way how you connect the wires. It should be uh, 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 properly connected or properly arranged with a and it should be properly sealed or insulated like this one. This is a better uh, way of connecting the wires for each component. So it will not be tangled and if there is a problem, troubleshooting is easy because the wires are properly arranged. Okay, so how to place the alcohol container inside the case. Okay. Again, class, uh, um, don't be I know you're hesitant or worried about this project because this is not your field of discipline. That's why I provided you a video for this, and then you can also browse from in the internet or look for examples. And I provided you uh, the details of the components, uh, the way on how you're going to connect the device, and later on we aside before you proceed to come up with this project, we will discuss about the diagrams as well, the components for electricity and electronics. Okay. So here you need to provide us the step by step or procedures on coming up with the dispenser. So this is the final output of the project. Okay. And they also provided the link uh, uh, to show how in a video how the dispenser works. So this is the actual or the finished product. I know you can do this, class. Okay. Uh, 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 Two or more brains are better than one, and it's high time to work um, to work as a team, because later on, once you are in your field of profession, you will be definitely will be working in groups or team. Okay. So after the procedures on coming up with the project, you need to present to us um, the findings and recommendation. Tell us your experiences. What did you observe? Have you found out during the construction or the testing or the design of your project? And what possible recommendations you can suggest for the next group or the next generation of students who will work on the same project? So that is the content of your what do you call this, uh of your alcohol dispenser. Okay, so class, uh, as I've said, for my course requirement for TLE 210, which is the electrical and electronics technology course, we're going to come up with a automatic alcohol dispenser. That's the first one. The second is you're going to provide us the technical report or the details of the project based on what I presented. And the third, the project is subject for evaluation. I need the response or feedback, okay, about their experience of using the project, either in the form of a questionnaire or a video. Okay. When it comes to a questionnaire, I'll be providing you a sample instrument uh, uh, based on that the respondents will answer. So uh, uh, for the feedback, perhaps you will interview or ask a student, one student, uh, one faculty, one head one head or the principal or the dean of your school, and then non-teaching personnel. These are the four respondents for your project. So again, class, uh, you're going to build an alcohol dispenser stand with technical report and response from them, from the respondents. Um, Deadline of submission, as I've said, I'm not strict with the deadline, but since our class will end at July 23, so that's the time that I'm going to collect all your project. So uh, I'm asking also assistance from your help. We have two options. It's either we're going to donate this project to school, or um, or we're going to donate this to BJMP uh, municipal jail in Ginobatan, since the electrical and electronics technology will be having an extension project, um, and also as our partner or stakeholder in our college. So, class, if you have questions or clarifications about the project or the requirement, feel free to message me or contact me through my email, through Messenger, okay, or uh, or any of the two. Okay, again, class, thank you for your time. Thanks for listening, and um, keep safe always.
Zombie apocalypse.